And I know you, Michael Jordan. Slick kind of deserved the last word, but it's a documentary about the last dance, the team. Can somebody else get the last word?
But see, let me just say this. When you allow a person to have the last word every single time, what that does, it influences people's minds to feel like, oh, well, they must be right. You show a Horace Grant interview. Horace like, oh, well, this was that. Michael Jordan comes out and says,
but yeah, Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen, they didn't like this podcast. They didn't like this, not the podcast, but they didn't like this documentary, this MJ documentary. Not the Chicago Bulls, but the MJ documentary. So what you think about that?
Well, it wasn't just them.
What do you really think about it? Like, what you think about it? You like, it's not really just them. It's them.
Hey,
they the main too.
I miss this guy right here.
They the main too, man. They the main too, man. I'm ready. We ready today, y'all. We ready. Today, tonight, whatever time we're recording. But y'all don't need to know what time we're recording
anyway. Man, I got to tell you, just me personally, watching that documentary, Michael Jordan, he's my favorite player of all time. But I got to tell you, man, I'm with Horace and Scottie Pippen on this one. I see why they upset about the documentary. My biggest peeve about the whole doc, I honestly didn't like how they made Scottie Pippen look. Like, and then let's just face it. It wasn't a 1998 Chicago Bulls documentary like it was called. It's the MJ documentary.
MJ documentary.
Like,
from high school to his last shot.
I mean, and which
literally, I don't have no problem with that because people want to see MJ. The fans want to see MJ. I want to see MJ.
You want to see him.
So yeah.
Listen, guys like Michael Jordan, he just has a certain charisma about him that makes people want to watch. So I have no problem with the documentary being pretty much focused on him. He was the best player on the team. He did most of the heavy lifting, not all of it, but most of the heavy lifting. He is the main reason that the Chicago Bulls are 6-time world champions. But the way they had Scottie portrayed in the doc, I mean, for one, and
hold on, before we make that jump to Scottie, let's talk about this Horace.
You want to talk about Horace? I want to
talk about, like, even though I feel like Scottie was the first person to get attacked, but I think Horace got attacked the most because it's like, man, a man said he gonna like take my food if I don't play good.
You know, I saw that.
You know, even though it wasn't in the documentary, but the documentary bought it out.
That
like,
can't be true though.
It's not true.
It's hard for me to believe.
Horace already came out. Horace already said it wasn't true.
6'10".
He said it wasn't true.
Come on now. Yeah. You know, look, like Horace Grant definitely got disrespected. Now, I grew up a lifelong Bulls fan. My daddy from Chicago. He was born and raised in Cabrini Green. You know, old housing project been touring now. We lifelong Chicago Bulls fans. My dad always told me the reason Horace Grant was upset when he left the Bulls for the Magic was because he always felt like Michael and Scottie got preferential treatment. But you got to understand, when it comes to professional sports, that's going to happen with the best players on the team. Michael and Scottie had just played in the Olympics. They just played in the Olympics. Coming back to practice, Phil Jackson says, you know what? No two-a-days for you guys. Y'all only got to practice once a day. Horace Grant didn't like that. He I don't need to practice 2 a days. But see, they wouldn't give him the same treatment. I can kind of understand that beef, Horace, but, you know, at that time, you was a great player, but you weren't on the level of Scottie and Michael. But here's the thing. Also, Horace wanted some money. Like, Horace wanted some money, too. And the owner, Jared Reinsdorf, for whatever reason, didn't feel like bringing Horace back, even after Michael Jordan retired. Now, my thing is, we all know Mike had creative control in this documentary. Say whatever you want.
Every bit, every second of this doc, he has control.
Whoever the producer was, director, Mike had creative control. Because
full creative control.
If you notice,
Scottie had no say so.
When you see the interviews with the different former players and everybody involved in this doc, who always got the last word?
Michael. Every single time. It never failed. Like, Michael got the last word, like, every time.
Every time.
And I know you, Michael Jordan. Slick kind of deserved the last word, but it's a documentary about the last dance, the team. Can somebody else get the last word?
But see, let me just say this. When you allow a person to have the last word every single time, what that does, it influences people's minds to feel like, oh, well, they must be right.
Facts.
You show a Horace Grant interview. Horace like, oh, well, this was that. Michael Jordan comes out and says, oh, Horace was a snitch. Horace was a snitch. He told the writer of the Jordan rules this and that about me,
right?
Trying to make me look bad.
And like Horace just come out and he just like, no, like that's not. I didn't snitch.
I mean, that's a strong word to call somebody now,
right? Like
especially in the black community. Now.
Like call him a snitch, and after that, you trying to take this man dinner. You trying to take his dinner, then you gonna call him a snitch.
Listen,
man, you just really just trying to demean this. This man got kids.
I don't care if I'm getting paid $4 million a year and we winning championships every year.
You can't take my food.
Another grown man is not telling me when to eat. Okay, like we are professional athletes. Okay, you are not my daddy. Like, come on now, man. And like that's just disrespectful. The level of disrespect shown in this documentary, I mean, it don't change the way I feel about Michael Jordan. He's still my favorite player all time. You know, up there with T-Mac, KG.
Yeah.
But like this guy, he's kind of petty. He's kind of petty because some of that stuff, Mike.